And I said, the first thing we got to do is admit that we have a problem. You know, we got all these kids, and the parents are all gloating about how we've got all these awards. Well, the awards mean nothing if people are being disrespected with racial slurs or religious slurs or anything like that. So I admitted right up front on the television, everything, that we had a problem and we're going to talk about it. We met immediately with the students and said, you know, if this happened, it's probably not the first time, and there's lots of you that tolerated it and heard it happening throughout the election season and maybe even before, and you didn't say anything. You should be ashamed of yourselves. And after that meeting in the gym, we had dozens of students lined up coming in and confessing that they had heard it and they had done nothing. They feel terrible. And I knew at that moment that our school was better that day than it was the month before. I was really happy. Some of the students were in tears. But we had assemblies, we had dialogues on diversity, we talked about it across our curriculum. We did a social climate survey, you know, where we disaggregated by race and gender and all that. We worked. I've been meeting with the NAACP and coordinated with experts in the Urban League, and I've shared with the media and tried to be as open as we can, because when you're a good school, still bad things can happen. And to me, it's all how we recover from our mistakes that makes the school or the man or the woman or whatever it is. So basically, I want to conclude by saying, you know, I tell everyone at our school, and we have about 3,100 students and about 400 regular employees, and then another couple hundred that are subs and coaches. But I say every year I think we graduate 2 classes from our school. It's the 125 kids that actually walk across the stage, and then there's all of us that move on to other things for any reason, either retirement, going to the next job. But we all need to be different because of our experience here with each other at the Classical Academy in this unique and wonderful school. And and I say that the best chance we have in life of being a good person is be around other good people, like we're doing here today, go to a school of character, work for a company that cares about good things, marry a spouse of character, all these things. It's just, you just want to surround yourself with the best people you can, and then it helps us be better. And I know I'm a better person because I've worked at the Classical Academy, and I know that 50 years from now, America will be different in some way because of what I've been doing and what we're all doing at the Classical Academy. And I'm just privileged to have been a small part of these young people's development. But anyway, that's about 20 minutes, or was it? Good shape. I'd like to open it up to any questions that you may have about this educational entrepreneur experiment called charter schools, or public schools in general, or character education and campus culture. Any questions or comments? And oh, yes, sir. No tuition. It's a public school, just like all charter schools in the country. It's free. It's free. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We came out. Yeah. Yes, he wants to know how we're doing academically, and I probably should have told you a little bit more. It's our kids are doing above average in elementary, but by the time they get to high school, they're doing very, very well. We came out in Newsweek in the top 1.5% of the high schools in the nation, and they use CSAPs, they use ACTs, things like that to judge that. So we have a very good program. Yes. Well, we do all the standard testing. We do it's called ITBS, the Iowa TBS, Test of Basic Skills, and then we do the CSAPs, and so we start measuring that. But we do all the things that public schools do. We try to identify the students with special needs in kindergarten right before that, and so we are public schools. We're just unique schools that people have to sign up for, and it's part of the school choice movement. Yes. Okay. She asked how the kids get in. It's a waiting list, and what it is they get priority if they live in Academy District 20, which is the north part of Colorado Springs, and then if we exhaust that list, then we go to out of district. And about 80% of our students are in-district students, and then about 20% out of district. And we just take the next one off the list. And if they have severe needs, if they have English as a second language, we have all of that at our school. We have a very extensive SPED program, and it's about 7% of our population have individual education plans. And this. Yes, sir? You said that character is a function of what? Modeling, yes. Oh my goodness, yeah. Well, first of all, I think it starts at the top with the president and CEO. And, I tell the kids, if I have a radar detector in my car, I'm in trouble. If I get in the express line with more than 12 items, there's a TCA kid watching me, I guarantee you. If I go near a handicap spot, I better be limping real bad. And, I said, it starts with me, and then I make sure that our principals and our leaders and our teachers understand, we have to talk with civility, we have to act with character, we have to do our very best. But none of us are perfect, in fact, I stood up in front of one of our elementary schools, and I said, okay, I'm going to make a deal with you. I challenge you to find me doing something wrong, or saying something wrong, or talking nasty, or doing something. And this is like first grade through sixth grade. And I said, what I want you to do, if you catch me, Mark Hyatt, doing something, you can confront me. Now, you have to be nice, you have to be diplomatic and tactful. We talked about what that was. But then we have permission to do the same for you. Well, they caught me. I was on my cell phone walking in the parking lot, and we tell the kids that you have to walk, in the crosswalk during carpool, you have to be right between these lines. I was outside the lines, and I was talking on the phone, so they came, Mr. Hyatt, you're outside the line. Thank you so much for helping me get better. Yes. Oh. Yes. Yeah, well, what you say about modeling, to me, charter schools should be trying new things. And what I've seen in our district is that our district will watch us. We're like the little brother that grabs something and tries it, and then the big brother, if the kid doesn't die, then he tries it. But like for instance, we built artificial turf fields a few years ago. We were the first ones in North Colorado Springs to do that because grass just doesn't grow well in Colorado Springs because of the altitude. And so we built them, and environmentally, we didn't have to water them, we didn't have to cut them, we saved money, and it's actually paying for itself. Then the district, a few years later, got our artificial turf fields. We developed this character program, and in '04 got this award, and then they asked us to come develop a character program for the rest of the schools. There's about 22,000 children in the district that we're part of, and we're just maybe 12% of it. And so I see us trying new things all the time, like with the K-12 campus structure. Well, they built a K-12 campus about a mile away from us. Their job, if I were the superintendent of the district that we're geographically part of, I would just try to outflank the classical academy every day. I'd try to put us out of business. And just say, what are their best practices? Let's benchmark off of them. And eventually TCA won't have a wait list anymore. But then I hope we will have raised the standard for all the children, because they're all our children in the end. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Very good question. Oh my gosh. In fact, I think it was Teresa Pena recently that said, if we have an unsuccessful charter school, we need to shut it down. I agree with her totally. To me, charter schools have to be held accountable. We're not the answer to everything. We're just an experiment, and experiments don't work all the time. And that would be the one thing that as a leader in the charter movement now, I see some unsuccessful charter schools that are allowed to exist. We have to make sure we understand what success is. because a lot of times